All right, well, I'm excited for our next episode here. We got our newest guest, Dan Samara, services our Solano County market, as well as his boss, Glenn Lima, our area manager for the East Bay, North Bay. Dan, so excited to have you on our NAFter Hours episode today. I just, you know, really enjoy always working with you with the 18 months that you've been here at New American Funding. You always got a smile on your face, and I know that you're always excited about some of the new tools that we have here. But, before we dive into what brought you to New American Funding, I thought I would just, ask a little bit about yourself. I know that you used to be in the Air Force and, you're very committed to your veterans there locally in Solano County. But tell us a little about yourself, Dan.
Hey guys, good morning. Hey, I'm Dan Samara. I am up here in Solano County. I served 23 years in the Air Force Reserves. I had a dual type of career while I was in the Air Force Reserves. I was out here at Travis Air Force Base, and I still live here. I'm on that base every day. I have a lot of friends and connections there, so I'm very passionate about serving the military still and doing VA loans as well as, the other type of loans that New American Funding offers out here.
Beautiful. Well, I know when making a decision 18 months ago to join New American Funding, we really didn't have a presence in the Northern California market, which we've really started to create and, appreciate your support to help us build a brand in the Solano County market. We're continuing to look to grow. But with that, what initially brought you to New American Funding? You had many choices, and why did you make the choice to come here?
Well, for one, with my last two mortgage companies that I was working with, there was a huge lacking of non-QM loans, and they were not really priced properly with our VA loans. And, especially with my last company, they only had a 3% penetration on non-QM loans as my business was growing. With them, it was growing about 50%. And I was talking to Glenn, and he mentioned that your in-house products of non-QM loans were X amount. And when I took a look and I was talking to Glenn, I noticed that the in-house products that we had was something that would fit right into what I was doing. And right now, when I'm looking at it, my non-QM penetration is well over 50% in my base. And so that
Wow.
has helped out very, very well, especially with the condominiums that we have. And I service a lot of restaurateurs, self-employed people. So these bank statement loans and asset loans, they have been really helpful for my business.
Yeah, I want to just touch on that for a second because not only are we committed to non-QM and have been doing that for a while, and like you mentioned, we have a lot of in-house products, but we also, make sure that it's a streamlined process, very competitive, and we have resources internally to help you to make the right choice for your client, which is unique. I feel like I've worked at other organizations that offered non-QM, but they didn't have the internal resource to help you determine which is the best option for your client. So exciting to see your penetration at 50%. That's huge. And I certainly know that, with inflation where it's at, gas prices where they're at, more and more customers are not traditionally qualifying, where it's becoming more of an opportunity for people like yourself.
Yeah, I think with the penetration of non-QM loans and the rates that we have, I don't have to take it outside to the broker world, and it saves our borrower a huge amount of costs. And it's a huge attraction for my realtors to come and use New American Funding for these types of loans, and it's just continue to grow. And I would like to get it up a little bit higher to about 75% if I can get it up that high.
Yeah, and some of the brokered out options, to your point, not only do you have the not have the control, we can close things really quickly internally, but then most times when you broker, you're having to charge the customer points and or prepayment penalties, which
Correct.
we have the option to do, but it's not what we have to do for our customers, which is really unique.
Correct. And that definitely gives us a flexibility. I'm closing our non-QM loans in less than 21 days, and that's a huge plus. I don't overpromise. We deliver the 21 days, and our clients and realtors are so happy to do that.
Well, with less documentation, sometimes it's always a little easier to
Right.
get that filed through. And with the control of having it in-house, some of them are even serviced by us as well too, which is unique. So
Right.
um, I love it. Well, Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, Dan, hey, I had a quick question for you, my friend. Since we've been together for quite a few years together, what are the things that you would think would coming over to NAF has been your strongest points? What can it be that brings you makes you wake up every day to do all this good stuff?
The funny thing about it is, I have a lot of knowledge from the 23 years that I've been in the business. And one of the things that I really, really appreciate with NAF and being on your team, Glenn and Craig, is that we have this really great team and the collaboration through our power hours and our power sessions. Sharing and collaborating is something that was a rarity for me in the last few years. At first, I didn't think, too much of it, but you see, I'm always on those calls now,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That is something that's really important for anyone coming over to this company, just to understand how to get things done and what people are doing to get things done.
That's great. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that too because it's the culture of our company, right? We all work
Exactly.
together. We all do the same thing for a living, right? It's no skin off anybody's back to actually just share with each other. And you've been very, very instrumental in helping share some of your knowledge, and then also you get to hear what other people have to say. So thank you for actually mentioning that. That's very good.
And having
Yeah,
access to Josh and Craig, I mean, we have that access. It's not a closed door thing. So I
Yeah,
really appreciate that.
yeah,
I'll
awesome.
touch on a
Thank you,
few of
bud.
those things you just mentioned, Dan. We don't have any hierarchy, right? If you wanted to call my boss Tony or Christy Bunce, our president, it's not like they aren't an email away and they'll respond. But to that point, Josh and I certainly try at the local level to, understand what's happening at the street level, because, we are removed from there and we don't want to be in our ivory towers, not engaged with the people.
I do have another comment as well as far as our systems that we have. The introduction of NAF Link and NAF AI has been a huge, huge win. Especially, I could feel that I guess my access to things has just jettisoned up with, especially with the access of NAF AI, because it just helps me get things done and get some answers after hours, and it also helps me with my CRM and all that. So I think those new systems that are coming aboard are something that anybody that's coming into this company needs to seriously look at, because that is a huge asset for us.
Well, I certainly,
Yeah.
obviously we only have so much time to post this on LinkedIn where it cuts off. So I love to spend more time, Dan, as like I said, I enjoy having a conversation with you because you always got a smile on your face. And, I think that, your perspective and attitude is what's allowed you to have success too. So, just to kind of recap, our conversation today, obviously what brought you here was our non-QM, having it in-house, how easy it is to close quickly, having it competitively priced, the team atmosphere that we have in regards to support, and then the new technology that we've been rolling out, as well as AI built into our systems because it's proprietary, asking it guidelines, helping it calculate income for you, and all those wonderful things. It's been a pleasure to see your growth over the last 18 months, Dan. If you're in the Solano County market and looking to maybe, make a change, I consider, looking here and would be happy to have you talk to Dan or Glenn or myself. And, if you're a realtor in that local Solano market as well, we've got some great resources to help you and your buyers. And hopefully we continue to see you crush it, Dan. And thank you for taking the time to join us on our NAFter Hours episode today.
Thank you for having me.